I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied. Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
Your disease, and I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everyone?
Holy crap.
I know what's going on. It's literally what is going on. This looks normal to us because we do this on video. But everyone now gets to watch us as we do this.
It's really bizarre and strange.
I'm frightened and I don't know what to do, but no, this will be fine. For those of you that may not, put your hands down, Nate. We talked about this. We talked about it. Put them down.
Don't Frankenstein it.
That's right. I don't know what to do with my hands. For those of you that may not know the faces to the voices, I am your host, Charlie. Says so right down here. You can see that. And with me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the live people, Nate.
Hello there.
There he goes. Brings out the old Obi-Wan. We dig it. We dig it.
Yeah.
All right. So this is our inaugural live stream on our brand new Alice Cooper music plays. I don't know if I have Alice Cooper music loaded up there.
Alice Cooper's not even in Prey.
That would have been awesome. No, that music that we play for those that don't listen to the podcast is done none other by our buddy Sludge, created totally originally, and then I added a bunch of voiceovers and one-liners to it. So no, that works. So yeah, we this is the beginning of the channel. The podcast is being uploaded now to it, so you'll be able to have another way of listening and finding us.
Or this is your first time you've ever came across us, and guess what? We run a podcast because we're two white dudes with a beard, and that's what you do.
I think we have to. I think legally we are obligated to do that.
If you were a movie podcast
born in the 80s or 90s, they send you something in the mail that says you have to do this. So, we're just, we're good law-abiding citizens.
That's what
we do. All right, man. So, yeah, we're going to talk about a movie that just premiered last night. And man, I've been hyped for this thing since it was announced. I got even more excited yesterday. Who are these white boys? You know who these white boys are, Sludge. There's our very own Sludge.
Really pale in this light.
Nate's yeah, I got a tan.
I'm a ghost.
Nate lives in a cave.
I don't like the light.
This is why when he joined the podcast
all the time.
That's why when he joined the podcast, he's like, people aren't going to see my face, right? And I was like, no, not at all.
No, they just got to hear your voice. That's it.
I only share Soul Patch, Nate, which the people are demanding a return.
No, they're not.
No, yes, they are. You don't see all those comments. I see them. We hide them from you. But no, we are doing Prey, man, and I've been excited.
I'm very excited.
Look, I'm one of those weird people that you put a Predator in a movie, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to watch it multiple times, whether it sucks or not. I still watch the AVP movies. I still watch the last two Predator movies. I can still find something I enjoy out of them, whether the movie's trash or not. I like this. So sorry you were lied to, Nate. I don't know.
Why does everyone gotta lie to me?
I know. Yeah.
Why does everyone gotta do this?
You're not weird. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Let's keep that chat going, boys. I like this.
Yes, let's keep it rolling. But Prey, there was two reasons why I was excited for this movie.
Okay.
My favorite moment in Predator is the finale.
That
primitive man. Yeah, in the very first Predator movie, that primitive man versus this beast and using those old school tactics to win.
Right.
So now you give me a whole movie based around that.
Oh, yeah. I I found it hilarious when before the movie actually dropped and they were just showing the teasers. I think after the San Diego Comic-Con trailer dropped,
Yeah.
everyone was like, why is it going to be Native Americans? It's, the Predator's going to be completely OP. He's overpowered. He has energy-based weapons. I was like, you guys never see the end of Predator? It's literally caveman versus, an alien.
Yeah. And that was reason number 2 I was excited for this movie, was the way Predator 2 ends with giving the weapon from the 1700s to Donald Glover. Because then that meant they have been here for years. Danny Glover.
Donald Glover. I don't think it's Donald
comedian.
Glover.
I always get them too mixed up. So the fact that Predator 2 had already set up, they have been coming here for years and years. It was inevitable for us to get to this point.
It should have been the logical next step to take the franchise.
And holy crap, was this just a movie about an origin story for a weapon?
I know, right? I mean, as soon as the date popped up when they were showing the Great Plains, and I was doing the math, I was like, okay, 1719. I think the gun says 1715. The gun would have been made a lot earlier, or at least, the plaque added. So I'm like, okay, that's where we're going to go. I was like, they purposely did that date, and they just kept selling it as the movie went on. This one has a totally familiar and yet unique feel to it all at the same time when this movie starts. We get a little bit more backstory, and all right, out of the way right now. Yes, it starts a tiny bit slow, but there is a lot.
But it is so beautiful.
It is, and there is so much you need to understand. Alberta, Canada.
Gorgeous landscape. The cinematography in this entire movie captured what felt like nothing has been ruined by technology yet.
Yeah, you can't say touched by man, because technically man is there, but touched by, the ones that come. And now we get a really nice kind of look at that later in the movie to show. When I watched it, they did really good hiding the fact that the French are in this movie. So I kept calling it, I'm guaranteeing like colonizers or something are here. When I saw the animal trap, the bison being skinned, I was already in my head going, all right, there's going to be colonizers. They made it the French, which I was like, I like that even better.
No, it's just, I liked it a lot.
It really sets that up even more. But yeah, no, this movie starts out great with a Comanche tribe. Hunters, gatherers are kind of depicted very well. And we get Naru. Is that how we're going to say the name? Naru? How do they pronounce her name in this thing?
I want to say it's Naru.
I
really hope I'm getting that right.
If not, I'm Southern, so I can blame it on that. You are Nate, so you can blame it on that.
Yeah, I'm just dumb. So not like I know Frenchie. This movie was getting a lot of crap because like, oh, it's just going to be woke, and that made me even more excited for this movie because I'm like, just because you put a female as the lead does not make a movie woke.
I wish they'd get over that, man. I mean, we had Ripley. We have powerful women in movies.
Every scream queen ever.
Right.
Well, look, like this is nothing new or original. Quit being a bitch.
When movies are doing it to do it, yes, they're kind of bullshit, and I don't like that. But if you truly give me a good character with a good story behind her and give her an actual character arc, which this one has,
this one did excellent of her wanting to prove herself that she is excellent at hunting and that she can provide for her tribe as well because they don't believe it. And yes, exactly. The slower first act building does add fantastic character development because you know what? I cared about every single character in this movie.
You had to. You had to. I think the reason why it probably feels slower than, say, like the original Predator and movies like that was they were able to add some more of the action elements to that.
They just added gun explosions.
There was a mission at the beginning of the Predator movie. There was the encampment.
It takes forever to get to, the unit fighting Predator in the first one. It takes forever to get to it in the second one. You just get to see the predator in action more in the second one, and it instantly
Because
starts out with the gunfire.
It's a hunter. So I like how they went back to that in this one.
We need to talk about.
Do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to know why? Because this damn predator was just on a lovely vacation on a planet it's never been before, doing its little hunts for the week. It was probably talking to all the other office predators about what it was getting into this weekend, going to a new planet it's never explored before. And now everyone's going to wonder why Jack didn't come back to the office on Monday.
Did he have one of those like wilderness guidebooks where he was checking off all of the animals?
Like he went to the Predator Dick's Sporting Goods and like got everything that he needed. His shield, his spear.
That was a dangerous sentence you just did.
He went to a Predator's Dick. He was ready for this. And then he gets there and he's like, a puny snake. No big deal. Oh, yeah. What's this four-legged thing with a tail? This was easy, but he's also enjoying himself. He's taking in the great wilds.
I would imagine he's like checking out the birds. He's looking at his little book going, I saw one of those. He's got his
blue jay.
He doesn't need binoculars because it's in his mask.
Yeah.
So it kind of works out really well. So let's talk about that mask as we're talking about him right now. What'd you think about that? It's like we're talking 300 years earlier. Now, depending on how, and yes, Sludge, I know how deep you get into the lore of the, I'm going to keep calling the predators because I'm just going to screw up their actual like species name.
Yeah.
But the Yunta or whatever they're called. Yacha. But what we have to understand from the movies, we actually don't know how old or how long these creatures live, not just based off hunting and stuff. So I was like, in my mind, I was like, man, that's a pretty big departure of the look for this feral one to only be in 300 years for, jungle hunter predator. Yeah. For especially a species that's that much, further along in their capabilities and science and stuff like that. I
wasn't expecting a primitive predator at all.
Predator versus beaver.
I would definitely take a beaver versus the predator, especially if you get like a whole swarm of beavers and they're building that dam.
Except for the dumb beaver that cuts its own, that chews its own paw off. She's like, I'm smarter than a beaver. I like that line in this movie. We're also not going to walk through this line scene by scene, this movie scene by scene by scene. We just want to hit a lot of these high points of this.
But when it comes to the predator's mask, I love that it was bone because, like I said, I was not expecting primitive predator. When you saw the 3 lasers, I was expecting an energy blast to happen to that man's face. When it became 3 bolts, I was like, oh,
I love that they moved.
Crap.
Like, they didn't all stay in the triangle that we're used to for the energy cannon. They moved around to different points on the body.
They were basically like Yondu, but without the whistle.
Exactly. They weren't doing the whistles. Trying to stay up here on the live chat here. Different tribes look and act very different in the I don't even remember how I said
described in Predators.
Yeah, we do. And we actually see it a little bit in Predators, like the big alpha one in that one.
Yeah.
Definitely had the longer mandibles, it definitely set itself apart from the others. And then I've always like just the masks to me were just that personalized part of each predator. It's like
it's always been like that's part of their heritage or part of this their character design, I guess you could say.
That's what they put out there. It's like I shave my head, I have a beard. This is all Matthew McConaughey Reign of Fire right here.
Yeah, definitely
that's
is.
All that is. Nate changes from soul patch to beard just depending on the season.
Just depending on the seasons.
Is there a vegan? Sure.
Well, obviously there is.
Why
There's
not?
Also Jeff's wife, who was like, I don't want you to go on the hunting vacation this week. I just have a bad feeling about it. He's like, no, let me go. I'm going to go to this planet Earth.
The vegans were the ones that were in the cages on Predators on the alien planet that they were hunting as well. They were the vegan ones. So I like that one. Or like a pacifist tribe.
Well, obviously there has to be a pacifist tribe.
Is there a PETA version of the predator tribe?
We don't hunt. All right.
Oh my god, that's awesome. But no, so I did like the design. It I think my first initial reaction was, man, this is so different. It was such a departure from what we know, but I'm not upset with it. Hunting the most dangerous of carrots.
Hey man, they're very dangerous and shoot them up.
Eat your carrots, man. It's good for your eyes. No, but so I love the aesthetic of that. And I like I was saying earlier, I liked how this movie set up like the first one, where we're not immediately shown the predator. You know,
No, I mean, it
it's in
takes a good
camouflage.
50 minutes to finally have him be revealed even.
Yeah. I mean, we get those little flashes of the cloaking device kind of, you know, breaking down if it gets hit, you know, like what we're used to from the movies. But the reveal of the mask was amazing, but the reveal of its face later was even more like,
So awesome.
holy shit. I mean, it will never top the original Predator. So Sludge and I were talking last night. I got done watching this movie and it was still like 11 o'clock, and I'm immediately messaging, so he's already watched it like 2 times before I even get one in. So we were just talking back and forth about that, about, you know, where he was putting this. And we're not going to give like a true number to where we put this. You're going to kind of guess where we're at the end of this, but I'm going to go ahead and say there's going to be another live stream on the Action Elite in a couple of weeks. We are going to rank all of the Predator movies, and Nate is going to make his premiere over there on that live stream. So
only because I like hid myself away in my house every day this week and didn't go anywhere and just watched Predator movies.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Monday through today.
I was actually, after watching this movie, realizing I should have had Jackie and Anthony rewatch them, because there was so much that I'm sitting there responding to, and they're like just sitting there, and I'm like, you didn't get that, did you? No, what was I supposed to get? And I'm like, oh god, I don't want to have to keep walking you through this.
To me, I was not going to compare this to any other Predator movie, because it's not fair to instantly be like, oh, it's never going to be better than the original. Well, if I put that caliber at it, I'll never think it's better than the original. So instantly, I have to stop my mind from thinking that way.
I couldn't.
No, like
I'll tell you right now, I can't do that
because I just don't think it's fair to the movie. But then last night, I had the perfect experience with it. First time I saw Predator was actually Predator 2 back in the 90s. I was real young when I saw that. And it's because Predator 2 was shown more, I think, on TV at that time, because early 90s just being released. And then it was my dad and I sat down and watched Predator when it was finally shown on TV, because, you know, we didn't own it.
Right.
The local grocery store, it wasn't like they were carrying videotapes from, 10 years ago at the time. So last night I went over to my buddy Dom's house, and he and his wife Beth and we had tacos. We watched Beavis and Butthead.
Nice.
Then we watched Prey, and then we played Nintendo 64. I had the ultimate 90s day watching this movie.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, the ultimate throwback.
It's our buddy Mark. Mark's going to be fun in this chat, I can already tell.
I'm excited to have Mark in the chat. So instantly, like, going into this, it was clean slate. Let's just see how this is. Yeah. And it lived up to. I mean, I got a bear against a predator.
That was an amazing.
That might just slip into the top 5 moments for me in Predator history.
I know, we ran through our top 5, and I realized real quick that all of my top 5s were in like the first 2 movies. So I probably should have done like my top 5 moments in the first Predator, as I was like, I had to throw in one scene from Predators in my top 5.
Oh, I wanted to make
I'm Fast
all of Adrian Brody my number 2 moment in Predator history. Because revisiting Predators this week, Adrian Brody is the king.
So that was my issue with this. I already was going into this movie completely like, there's no way it's going to top 1 and 2.
See, that's a bad mindset to go in. Terrible mindset.
I don't think so, because it didn't take anything away from this movie. The problem was they've already tried to do it twice, and I was like, you failed 2 times to overtake the first 2. I'm not going to get it in my head that this one might even have a chance.
With Predator 1, it's a one and done story. With that being said, where do you go from there? Like, you've completed the story. Part 2 makes sense that you would take it to the urban jungle. That just makes perfect sense.
It does.
So then after that, it's like, okay, you've conquered everything. Like, you've there's not much else you can do with this story.
Except
Predators
go to
did a really
space.
good job of just
We
like,
got to go to
okay,
space.
we'll take this amazing cast, put them, on space on a hunting ground, a resort, and
with
see how Yakuza
with
a mercenary and cartel, how do all these guys go together? You don't remake part 1 by doing that, but it's exactly what you're supposed to do in order to kind of continue this.
You lost Sludge saying Adrian Brody
is the GOAT. Like, he is incredible in everything. That movie he was just in, Clean, is fantastic.
I still need to watch it. I almost picked it up at Walmart yesterday. I saw it at Walmart for $10. I should have bought it.
You should have.
I should have. I can go back. I can go back. No, but I was back to my point was, so I already knew this one wasn't going to top the first 2, but that doesn't detract at all of my enjoyment of this movie or how I feel about it. Because like I told Sludge, we can't have this movie and all the things that made us go, whoa, I love that, without the first 2.
Yeah, but this movie made me feel like I had never seen a Predator movie before. This felt like,
I didn't get that.
This felt like being a kid watching this movie for the first time ever and just seeing like, holy shit, like this is going to be the movie that 25, 30 years from now that kids will be talking about like we talk about with Predator. This is how it's done.
I would love for that to happen. And yes, Lud, you're right. And they've teased that too. And they should have been able to do better with the AVP movies in order to bring us onto the home world, because that's where it got teased to us. And that's a whole nother conversation we can have about the failures of the AVP movies. Amazing and everything. Did you not see King Kong? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was fantastic in the King Kong.
I liked Adrian Brody in King Kong. Is the movie better than the other ones? No, but I like Adrian Brody.
Like, Peter Jackson knocked it out of the park with that remake.
Oh, the whole swamp scene actually is pretty freaking amazing.
Everything with the bugs attacking him.
Yeah.
Jack Black is fantastic in that.
That dude getting swallowed whole. But yeah, we're talking about Predators on this. Anthony watched this last night. That is my carbon copy and my introduction to me reliving my childhood.
Jack is such a good horror movie.
So I kind of get to relive my childhood through his eyes. He liked this movie, but he did not have the response like I did the first time I watched the first Predator. There is just something about that first Predator as to why it is so iconic. And it is the very first time we see a Predator. We love you too, Sludge. We can like an actor, man. We can like Adrian Brody. It'll be fine. I'm sure you like
actors of this entire century.
I'm sure you can like people that we don't like. It's fine. It'll be okay. But while this movie had its moments, it's just no way it can surpass the absolute. There is nothing to know before you had watched the first Predator. That first Predator will always have the ability to outshine all the others.
Well, it's not fair when it's like that first reveal of the Predator's already been, taken. But I'm saying, like, if you've never seen a Predator movie before and this is your introduction, this is going to be the one that blows your mind.
Possibly.
This is going to be the one that, like, over something, like, when all these kids come back to school and start talking about movies, holy shit, did you see Prey? That would have been us.
Oh, we totally would have done that.
Yeah.
I mean, 100%.
I woke up this morning.
We're doing it right now. You realize
our entire group was blowing up, and I wanted to hold it all in for today because of how incredible it was.
Yeah, Sludge is right. I mean, it was Stan Winston, and oh wow, we're already getting spam bots. That's awesome. Love that. Give me a second, guys. We got spam happening. Nate, keep talking while I deal with spam.
I do not like spam.
You do not like spam?
Yeah.
You do not like it every day?
No. Something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's telling me to refresh, but I don't want to refresh.
I don't know what happens there.
I don't either. That's weird. All right. I was just dealing with I didn't think we were supposed to get spam bots till we, did a few of these. That's kind of weird. There we go. Nope, it's still fighting us. All right, everybody, just ignore that crap down there. All right, man. So what do you want to talk about next? You want to get back into the Comanche end of it, or do you want to start talking about the throwbacks to the first two movies, which I kept seeing and falling in love with every time I saw it?
I mean, all of it, just everything. The fact that every warrior in this tribe was incredible. Not a single
Yes.
one of them did I want to die. Like I made it. I love that it did not make any of them weak.
I mean, Nigga Spam Bot versus Predator. That's awesome.
Oh, that's coming to sci-fi next weekend.
It's already been optioned.
Yeah, they are. Option and pitch that one.
I saw Alien Shark at Walmart yesterday too, and I almost
Does that take
bought
place
it.
in space, or is that an alien ship that crashes into a shark, and then
why
the
I almost
radiation of
bought
the
it.
alien converts the shark into being an alien shark?
We still haven't got Space Shark, so I was wondering if they're still dancing around that or something. But I almost bought it just to see if it was in space. But again, it was only $10. I may have to go back to Walmart today. But no character was wasted. I love the war party of the younger warriors. You know, they definitely set that up pretty well, that they were warriors, but they were still the younger generation of them all.
Oh, I love that seeing Naru evolve with her skills. Like we could already see that she was very handy in like combat and using her tomahawk, but then realizing like if I throw it, I have to go and get it. Where if I tie twine around it, it can come back to me, a la Scorpion.
I kept saying she was doing the whole Scorpion thing. I think my only, like, I get it, and it made sense for the movie, and I don't want them to take it out. I just sit there and went, she got really proficient with a ranged weapon really fast with that rope being attached to it, you know?
Hey, when you got trees around you, you just throw it at trees and get good.
But I meant with the string. She could throw a tomahawk, no problem. But that adds a little extra because she could pull it back and catch it every time.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I would have smacked myself in the head
I love seeing
half a dozen times.
Like when one of them gets wounded and seeing the other three go off and like make the net and make like the stretcher from the woods and stuff like that. Just seeing how capable everyone was awesome.
Well, you had to be. That was the whole thing. The way her brother made it like, no, she needs to come with us. She's a good tracker. She also knows medicine. So they set all that up really well without like force feeding it to you that she knows medicine. And that brings up the one thing I did really enjoy in this movie was throwbacks, but not to the extent that people complain about it now. Like when you talk about Last Jedi and a lot of these movies that try to force you the nostalgia. Oh, they did the thing like they did in the
they
first
do it a couple
one.
of times in this though.
They do, but I'm talking about a specific one. Give me a second. The medicine that she gives the warrior when he's wounded was to lower his blood temperature. And so I kept watching this movie and they kept teasing the mud. She falls into the bog as the alien.
You expect the mud predator to come into play the entire time.
You totally do. She's even backed herself up against that mesh of branches, and it was an exact copy of Arnold crawling out of the river up against the root ball of that tree. I mean, that's totally on purpose. But to get the flip where it's that plant that makes her body temperature drop is how she is invisible to the predator, that I went, I love that. I love that it wasn't the mud. You teased it, but you didn't actually go all the way through. Yes, we got the if it bleeds, you can kill it.
Yes.
I have no problem with that. I actually would have
so cheesy. It's insane when like everyone has to say, I'll be back. And it's not coming from Arnold.
It's what you expect.
It is what you expect, but I don't want it.
I would have complained how they didn't say it. But this is also first. So technically they said it before Arnold did. So we're going to that's our out.
And then in,
does the
training camp, Billy kept saying it. And then Arnold went, that's a really cool line. I'm going to steal that later when Billy's not looking.
I think wasn't Billy considered Comanche? And that's one of the reasons why they select. Yeah.
Yep.
The balls of hunting with a tomahawk when you have. Yeah. But I think
but clearly she doesn't use the bow often because when she goes to shoot the bear, it snaps, which I would have pooed him. That would have been the moment I poo him and go, well, that's it. I'm done. The bear's got me.
I like how she restrung it as the dog, and Mark's going to mention here in a minute that he was going to hate this movie if the dog died. I loved how they kept teasing something was going to happen to the dog.
You know, usually I'll write pages and pages when watching a movie, but I was in such awe. I've got 2 sentences here, and that's all I wrote. Dog better not die, and that was a predator poop. That's it. Because when they're tracking the mountain lion, they come across a big pile of shit. I was like, well, clearly that was predator poop.
I thought that too, but I was like, I think he would have buried it. You know, it's one of those moments.
Oh, no, not this one. A more sophisticated
that's why
Arnold predator would have, yeah. This one would have left it out. That way you get mud pie all over your foot.
I had a laugh moment in this. This movie doesn't have a lot of levity in it, but when the bear is drawing down on her and the dog leads it away, she restrings her bow, she jumps down, the dog comes running back, and I'm immediately going shit
yeah.
as the dog's running, and she's like, what's going on? And then here comes the bear. I was like, should have followed the dog. I was laughing.
Even the bear was like, there's a bigger fish. There's always a bigger fish.
I loved it. And like you said, coming into that bear kill, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting
right hook Mike Tyson punch to a bear.
And then holding it over his head, drinking the blood as it came out of it.
Terrifying.
that was
absolutely terrifying.
That's a pinnacle Predator moment. That right there was one of those moments of like, what can you do that I haven't seen? That was it. That right there was it. Holding a grizzly bear over your head, drink its blood, and that was awesome. And you know, he doesn't follow her because she doesn't have any weapons at the time, or you know, at least the tomahawk was tucked and not a threat. So
yeah.
How did you feel when she got her ass beat by the other Braves?
That was rough to watch.
She holds her own though. Was the only reason,
especially when she like digs her teeth into the one guy's arm. Like to me, it just showed that like she will go. Nothing is below the belt basically.
Right. Also, there's another Predator 1 throwback at that whole moment when they tie her hands up, and now she is just as defenseless as the girl in the first Predator, and then duck her down behind the tree log is the exact same position, look on her face. And I should have looked it up. I can't remember her name, but you know who I'm talking about from the first Predator movie. Totally ducks her down. And we get the Comanche version of let's just shoot everything into the wilderness like they did in Predator, where they shot down, although it's only one arrow at a time, but it's still that whole same scenario.
That very first arrow that sticks into the Predator, because it's like, this is even awesome because now you know where he's at if the arrow is sticking out of him.
Oh yeah, it gives
him
away.
That these warriors, they're technically nobodies to us, but they hold their own. Like they are fast. They are getting stabs in. Yeah. Like that one takes a spear into the Predator's foot because it knows like, all right, this is a way that you can weaken him quickly.
I audibly went, that had to suck. A second it happened. I was like, that is not a wound you ever want to experience in life.
Oh, and the moment they introduced the bear trap in this too, I was like, oh, we're definitely going to get a Predator in a bear trap. I think the dog was added, to be honest, with expecting humans to die, so there's no attachment, but a dog. He's right, because that whole time I did not want that dog to die.
Like, you already know that people are going to die in this movie, so there is no tension to that. You're right, Mark, that dog is our emotional attachment in this movie. 100%. I agree. And it worked. And it did. Again, it wasn't that whole like, oh, of course there's a dog and she's going to go John Wick on his ass. No, man, that you actually care whether this dog,
you want it to make it to the end because he is her hunting companion.
Yeah, that's essentially her best friend other than her brother and that. But the fight with the Comanches and the Predator, and while you could say, well, the other guy was kind of a coward, he was out there hiding. No, that's just smart tactics. Everyone else is dying everywhere. He's hiding in the grass field. And I instantly went, I understand that you've never experienced this type of creature or fight and you think you're hiding. And I'm sitting there going, he can see you. It doesn't matter how tall the grass is.
He doesn't know that.
Mark, he said, I'm going to go take a squat. That's
you know what? Sometimes you got to.
But he was already out in the field when she goes running out there. But yeah, it was just this. They have no idea what they're up against. Like, she never figures out either that he has a way of like tracking them like he does. She just figures out the heat hides her. That's the only thing she ever puts together on this thing.
Yeah.
You know, I like how she took his helmet away from him too later on in the movie.
Oh, later on. But we got to talk about still this man hiding in the grass and
we'll
him getting turned into a blood puddle.
Did you see how fast that predator was going?
Oh, how much it instantly charged at him. And then, like Cody had mentioned in the group chat this morning, that was a fountain of blood. It wasn't like it was moving all over. I mean, it sprayed.
Yeah. That brings up a good point that I want. And I was talking to Sludge about this last night. And when Sludge told me about this movie yesterday after he watched it, he goes, it may have the most amount of gore of all the movies. And I was like, oh, I'm in. You know, that's all you had to say. Now,
I'd say either this or Predator 2.
This is my thought on it, though. As I was watching it, I'm like, man, this is uber violent. A lot of people die. We don't have a body count, guys. It just came out. I haven't counted yet. So this is different than the podcast. I started noticing that a lot of the stuff that should have been like super graphic was just out of focus. A lot of times happening behind the forefront action that's going on. I don't count the bison being skinned. It didn't have the same impact. There's nothing in this movie that was impactful as the skinned bodies you see in the first and second movies. When you see those,
I don't know. Like, when a dude gets stabbed with a spear and his legs get cut off at the same time,
brutal. It was too fast. It was too fast.
But there was that aftermath of like, holy shit, he got really messed up.
To me, Blaine's chest exploding is far more shocking and graphic than
that one
any of the deaths.
It's because the 80s, that's Jesse Ventura. No one was expecting.
No, that's why it was one of my moments this week. But what I'm saying is this movie does give us violence and it does give us gore, but it's almost like they toned it down, but you still know it's like when the Frenchmen die behind the guys with the telescope, they're on the horses. They're disassembled, but it's all out of focus and all you see is body parts fall.
Oh, I love though when they turn around and see just all their
it was amazing.
Bodies completely dismembered. Like, so that happened right behind us. That's cool.
Right.
Now
quietly.
Yeah.
But you know, when we talk about the first and second one, not just the bodies being skinned, but when Gary Busey gets cut in half and his guts fall to the ground before the rest of his body.
Yeah.
That's gory, graphic, ooey gooiness that I love, that this movie just kind of dialed it back, in my opinion, on. I don't know if
it did. Like, I felt like every kill was so impactful because this predator is so mean.
Yeah, that's our most vulnerable time we ever experience is when we're
do you think I want to be on the can while being attacked?
I don't want to run while I'm doing it either.
That's why there's a bathroom axe.
It's always an axe, man. I was already with her because that was her weapon of choice. She had a tomahawk. I'm immediately going, she's got an axe. Although my thing to be quicker with it, she added the rope. I would have had like 20 tomahawks. I would have been the machete of tomahawks.
You would have had all these batarangs.
I never would have had to reload. I just always had one ready to throw. That would have been my solution instead of tying a string to it to pull it back to.
No, my luck, because I've gone axe throwing once. I would probably throw it and the handle would hit it. So all I did was upset it. I didn't do any damage to it. I gave it a mild bruise for later, and now it's even more pissed off at me.
Like how the musket ball bounces off its helmet and hits the dude that shot him. I lost it at that scene. I was like, he stands there for so long holding the gun at the predator, and I'm like, shoot him. And he fires and it bounces off of his head into his. I was like, that's great. I love it. This movie did give me a ton of stuff that I was audibly like, this is awesome. That I love this. This is unique. it just couldn't top the originals. And I'm not saying that as a downbeat to this movie. I love this movie. I really do. I already was watching
I just feel
it
like
a
you're
second
going
time
in
this
with an
morning.
unadvantage disadvantage of just like instantly saying like I can't like this as much as the first one when you just gotta go in going, this is a separate thing, man. This is a different entity.
But that's the thing though, man. In my mind, I cannot do that. Like I'll never be able to watch a Highlander movie that possibly could beat the first one.
Well, you can't because the story is complete with the first one. There's nothing else you can do that can top it.
But even if they like we got the reboot coming, it's never going to be as good as the first one.
It might be.
No, it won't.
I don't know.
It will
I'm
not.
Just saying, filming techniques have gotten a lot better.
My opinion, and again, everyone can have an opinion. We are not right or wrong or anything like that. My opinion is it is next to impossible to top something that is that groundbreaking in movies. And now I'm not saying remakes can't be better than the originals because obviously we have The Thing.
I think remakes usually have the more potential because of how often a sequel can't capitalize on what the first one did. Die Hard, for example. Part 2 is nowhere near as good as Part 1 because Part 1 has a contained story to where it's like, well, your sequel is throw him in the exact same situation somewhere else, but it's like, what are the odds of that? Which is everything that 2 does.
I don't know. They did it
or
5
you do
times,
what
so.
the third one does, where it's like, okay, now you just realize that this character is fantastic. Throw him out in the streets.
But none of them ever top the first one.
But each one I go into not with that mindset. Because then no matter what, I'll go, well, it can't live up to it. So I have to go into the mindset of maybe it can. See, exactly. If you get Adrian Brody to play the Highlander, it's going to be phenomenal. And we'll call it Highlanders.
It's Henry Cavill is already cast as the Highlander, so
he gets cast in everything, though, so there's a good chance it may not even happen.
No, I think this one may have legs.
It could also get filmed and then get canceled right at the last minute. That's a thing that can
I don't
happen.
think Warner Brothers owns this one. That's what no one's understanding. This is all Warner Brothers canceling movies right now. Mark, I'm out. I don't know if he's out of the conversation or if he's
called
leaving.
Highlanders, just like Predators.
We're just gonna add an S
so we can get
everything. All of the other Highlander.
He hasn't been in a Terminator movie. Terminators.
Which lander? I like him in The Witcher, though. I never played the game, so I'm like totally new when I'm watching the Witcher series.
I still need to watch it.
I like him in it. I think it's really cool. It's like a different.
Doesn't he have a Batman voice though? I'm Geralt.
Kinda,
yeah,
kinda, but not as bad as Christian Bale or Bane. Anything like that. Everybody will get those jokes later on a future episode
down the road.
He has T-Rex arms. I read that as Trex decking arms. Is what?
Who's got T-Rex arms?
Who's got
Adrian Brody? No.
Henry Cavill doesn't have T-Rex arms either. You seen him in Mission Impossible when he beats that dude in the bathroom?
Oh, God,
those aren't T-Rex. Oh God, I love that. Just that scene gets me pumped for that movie already. All right, so. What were we talking about?
There's some French people that get killed in this. I was not expecting the French people to be in this movie at all.
So yeah, I was not expecting French. I was expecting colonizers or something because of the trap. But they were trappers.
When the trap was shown, I was like, okay, we're gonna have some modern technology.
That's how we were going to get the better body count. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, we will get a decent body count in this. But I loved it. And here's another parallel. Did you catch the parallel on when they have the brother and sister, Naru and her brother, tied to the tree and they are setting the trap?
Oh God, that scene's so awesome.
Do you know what they're replicating?
No.
That is the slaughterhouse scene from Predator 2. Remember how they put all the phosphorus in the air to adhere? Yeah. There is ash because they've been burning down the forest all around them. The Predator realizes it's sticking to his skin, and Gary Busey's crew is setting a trap to capture the Predator, just like the Frenchmen are
I didn't
setting
pick up
a
on
trap.
that, though.
That is a complete homage or whatever you want to say to that scene.
I mean, it
this
shows
movie.
that even as time has gone on, that our ways of trying to fight the Predator have not really changed so much. It's just the way.
You can get your ass. They're up to something. The French deserve it. Well, there goes all our French viewers. Thank you for
oui, a Predator.
Thank you all for sticking around this long. I knew this was going to happen, though. If you put the French in a movie,
last night when watching it, going, baguette, Predator.
And one of them speaks Comanche. I was like, okay, that's
they're in the area. It makes sense they would try to learn what is going on around them.
I guess, man, but it's just, man, the bots are going crazy. Keep talking, Nate.
I don't talking words on the spot.
You were literally talking.
No, you now.
God damn it. Nate needs rebooted. No, so as I was watching that though, I kept loving all of the little things and throwbacks they would throw into this movie to just be like, oh, I know what they're doing. And it wasn't like that one wasn't as so much in your face that you didn't even realize it until someone points out this is what they're doing.
That's how you know it's good then, because that means it was clever enough to kind of blend in to just feeling natural to the movie itself.
But another thing is this movie couldn't do what it did to make it amazing without the first two. You know, it's just, that's where I have to be at as far as where this is on Hulu. I didn't know the Comanche cut was out already.
Yeah, like I think it's already part of that, which I do want to like.
That's how I'm gonna rewatch it. So I think it's subtitled in Comanche, or is it the other way around?
No, like it's dubbed and then subtitled in English.
Okay, so they do it. All right,
which is like one of the first few films I think to do it too. I remember reading an article about it when it was announced.
I heard they
were doing.
They were toying with the idea of doing it. I did, because I'm watching this going, they're speaking English. It's not like dubbed in English. They're
and they don't have
English.
like accents or anything like that. Like it's standard English, which I've seen other movies do that. And I've seen like where the director's like, it's always a hard call to make of whether or not you should throw in, like, should the movie be in nothing but the foreign language? But if you're trying to reach a wider audience, like what this is, because let's face it, 2018, The Predator was a flop big time. And we are lucky to even get another Predator movie, because we went from a string of AVP, AVPR to the Predator. Well, Predators, that did come out after AVPR.
Yeah.
Which was like, by all means,
that gave us hope. That one gave us hope.
Nothing happened, which there was probably that's when rights were being sold or studios were not deciding what they should do next with it, and it laid dormant. And we got all excited that Shane Black was coming back for the Predator, and then studio interference big time, where the entire third act of the movie has been changed, and we'll never get to see what even his bizarre version, director's cut or whatever you want to call it. It was better than what it should have been. I was just talking to Charlie about that earlier this week, where it was just like, it's not as good as the other three, but it's better than any right to be.
It really does. And
that
I think
lead is amazing. Was it Lloyd? I think is his name or something like that.
Yeah.
That dude's charismatic as hell.
The guy from Logan, who is an amazing villain in Logan. I think the issue was with that one was everyone put all their trust in, and I love Shane Black. He is a fantastic writer. He knows action. And I think there's a misconception. He didn't write Predator.
He was there to do rewrites and to kind of spiff up the dialogue.
And basically it's like, that's why he's even in the movie, was so that, because they couldn't.
He could be there all the time.
Yeah. They weren't allowed to hire a writer. So they had an actor who knew what to do as far as writing on hand when they needed the script fixed. That's what Shane Black's involvement was on that.
And the biggest problem too is we're coming in a post MCU world where he had just done Iron Man 3, and they were looking at the Predator franchise to be like, how can we set this up for more and more, instead of focusing on one single story and one focus part with these characters. I mean, that ending is horrible with the Predator killer suit. Yeah.
Well, the whole, this is
because it's wanting to set up a big invasion or something like that. It's like, I don't want that. Like
that one did wrong what this one did right. That one tried to copy the first Predator movie. You know, you have the ragtag group of guys, they all
the
have
loonies.
their little things.
Yeah.
It kept trying to go, hey, remember the first movie? Hey, remember this movie? Where this one went, we're just going to pay tribute to where our roots came from.
I am perfectly happy too. Like, this is what the Predator franchise does. I want the next one to be like World War II.
I think that
give me Vietnam.
Let us follow it through.
Give me the
history.
Civil War. Yeah, like just keep on going in different time frames, basically.
Because this is the first visit to Earth.
Clearly, when Jeff didn't come back to the office on Monday, everyone else went, well, I kind of want to check out what that hunting plan's about because it's dangerous. So you want a real hunt? You're going to pay premium dollars to go to this resort.
So I wanted to ask this because I asked Sludge this and he missed it. Did you watch the credits all the way through?
Oh yeah, I did. Because the ending, which obviously we're spoiling everything.
Oh, it's a spoiler. Should we have said that? I thought I said it on all of our social medias. We're spoiling the shit out of this movie, guys. There's no way we can't.
And instantly, when the movie was over, I went, well, the Predators have to get that pistol back. That way they can give it to Mr. Glover. I don't think they're going to live.
No. Here's. So I talked to Sludge last night. Also, funny story. The credits start rolling. Jackie turned it off to watch her show. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, it's over. I'm like, no, we watch credits in this house.
We stayed the whole way through because I was like, Nick Fury may try to recruit her. So we got to stick around.
I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. I was like, so no, turn it back on. So I'm watching it and we get the Native American artwork depicting the story as we've watched. It gets to the end where they've given her the war chief staff. They turn in the picture and 3 ships descend from the sky.
I thought that was such an awesome post-credits way to do it. Instead of filming a scene, let the story keep on going. Oh my God, a Western Predator would be amazing.
Predator Justified.
Oh.
So
Predator in a cowboy hat and spurs.
Sludge skipped the ending scene both times he watched it. So I'm talking to him and I'm like, go watch it. I don't even want to tell you. He goes, that's amazing. He goes, do you think they wiped him out and took the pistol? I said, no. The end of Predator 2, they respected Danny Glover's character because he took down one of their warriors and gave him the gun. My theory, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be confirmed, they landed to collect the body of their fallen. And because she was the superior warrior in that fight, as a sign of respect, that her chief would have given them that pistol as a gift. God, man,
I picture her
tonight.
Yeah, the same thing. Like
today,
she would be given that gift. I do got more Predator movie ideas from my buddy Dom, who's texting me.
Nate has a kink with fishnets. If you were in the group, guys.
Who doesn't? But assless fishnets on a Predator, peak sexiness.
I mean, does that really, like, just fishnets on a bear one should be enough, but does it have to be assless?
Yes, we got the chaps.
I don't know. The Predator and
Davis texts me, Predator Sons of Anarchy. So now I do like the idea of the Sam Crow going against the Predator.
I'd be in for that, man.
We got Predator Yellowstone. I haven't watched Yellowstone, but I am down to fight to see Kevin Costner fight a Predator.
I think that would be awesome.
Predator, How I Met Your Mother. Now, this would be a romantic comedy about how the Predator met its little Predator's mother.
I'm pretty sure that's a meme somewhere. I'd have to look that up. I think that has been brought up before. Good job, Dom. Appreciate it, bud. Why is he not in the live chat? He had to text you.
He had to text me. I was like, I gotta look at my phone. It's blowing up over here. Man, a Predator Western, like having the 6-shooters and the old school Gatling gun.
I think that would have been awesome.
Mounted.
Yeah.
Horseback.
Yeah, we could have got the rotating mini gun.
You could do like Magnificent 7 where like the Predator has been hunting, everything in the town.
It did look like blue meth in Predator 2 when he makes the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
He's
So
he's
now
cooking his little meth on
Chesty's
the
like,
hot plate.
Predator, bitch. And then like the Predator throws the pizza onto the house. The Predator has cancer, so he has to make meth.
Instead of the 50 cal in the back trunk, it's the minigun that pops up out of the back trunk when he wipes out the entire house. Yeah, I'm in for Breaking Predator.
God.
Of course, we got to do the classic, To Catch a Predator, and it's Chris Hansen always catching the predator right before he kills someone. He's like, well, let's have a seat.
I thought you were gonna go with that the Predator was chatting with a 14-year-old
no,
online.
I give the Predators a lot more credit than that.
Not this Predator.
I was changing it up to where every time he's like stalking his prey.
No, I like the idea
Chris
of that
Hansen's
Predator having to have
there.
a seat, and then it's just like,
that's what I mean. Like he's getting ready to kill Danny Glover. All of a sudden, Chris Hansen appears in the background. What are you doing there? Why don't you take a seat? Take a seat. And then they have the Predator sit down and explain why he's hunting Danny Glover in the entire movie. I think I would watch that.
They drew first blood.
We had to get Chris Hansen mentioned to a Predator episode. How do you not, man? So let's talk ending fight, man. Let's talk from the brother to the end of this.
The brother is so badass.
I love the brother. I was pissed he died.
Yeah. I always want him to make it all the way.
Saved by the Predator. He's in high school with his friends getting the nice. I kind of want the Predator to be Mr. Belding. I want the Predator to be the principal dealing with all the shenanigans of the kids.
Like it got somehow roped into this job. It keeps like trying to not be a principal, but keeps getting promoted.
Every time Zach gets in trouble, the 3 dots appear on his forehead. Oh, it's Mr.
Not
Predator.
Today.
Mark's in. We got
Sweet.
Mark back. No, this Predator takes some damage in this movie, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's what's great about it because of it being 300 years ago and showing that they're still not at, like, yes, they're technologically more advanced,
yeah,
but they're still not what they are in 88 or 86, whenever the original one was.
I think it's 86. So
but showing that he can also be
but I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
So my thought, I don't know, this is just when my brain was going. I was like, being that this is the first time they've been on our planet. Obviously, they're hunters and they go across the galaxies hunting. Is that where they are technology wise, or is that what they send the guy out to start with?
Oh, it could be like that's what his hunting gear is.
Right. Now, I brought up to, like, Sludge was talking last night about how
they are
both 100%.
Even like when this fight was going on, I was like, wait, is this the final fight? Because
right.
like when it happens, it's like, all right, it's go time. It's not letting go.
Once she starts like making the traps, I was like, yep, we're in. And the little throwbacks to Predator where she's sharpening the stick, but it was set up different. I was, again, just that perfect little, you paid respect, but you made it your own as well. But my thought was, I was explaining to Sludge that every movie, it's like they've learned from the experience or failures from the others,
which is exactly what I would expect them to do. Is like, okay, this didn't work with the last guy went out, so how do we get better? Like in Predator 2, where its vision isn't just thermal, it has multiple different filters, I guess you could say.
He also comes with more and better weapons.
Yes,
he now has a better like hand-to-hand combat
I wish
weapons.
Every Predator had this badass shield.
That shield was amazing.
Oh my
God.
I
was not expecting that shield. And how it uses it.
Yeah.
It cuts that dude's head off. That was a good gore mini blood fountain, because when the tree thing falls, there's a little and blood flies up in the air.
And like cutting the one guy's arm off. Even the fact of when she is pinned down. Her using
when
his
she
spear,
grabs that spear and it shrinks back in, and she's just like, but she keeps using it though. She still uses it as a weapon and stabs him in the leg with it. I was like, she's still like works through.
He's probably the one I've seen take the most damage.
By far.
Because he's getting stabbed nonstop. Like, you have his green blood, like, everywhere. So even, like, when he is invincible or invisible, it's just, you can know where he's at. And then, like, eventually, that technology gives up on him.
Her brother puts the spear through his shoulder.
Yeah.
When he comes jumping off of the horse.
And all the jumps.
Oh, my God, man. I mean, it was just, I wasn't expecting that either. Like, that was a pretty badass, not even final. That's a final fight move without it actually stopping the Predator completely.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. And him healing himself, doing the bandages later, even shaking the pin as he's still trying to put the stuff sealing it up. I was like, I love his gear, which explains the thing on his back. That's basically like his kit. So he has the med kit. And we didn't talk about this yet.
That's where he also puts his snacks in, like his fruit snacks.
You gotta have snacks, man.
Yeah.
But I like how they explained. I don't know if I should use the word explain. Okay, you remember in the first one when the Predator sprays the skull that's already defleshed? This one takes it that little step further, going, they are spraying it with a chemical that melts the flesh off.
Yeah, it gets rid of the flesh and muscle. That way it's just the bone.
So I was like, I like how they kind of finished what that should be. That's like, that's how they are able to just get it down to a perfectly clean skull. Normally you have to boil those things, and it takes a long time, smells bad. Don't ask me how I know all that. But, it's, I like how they would take things and still, like you said, make it their own, make it part of this movie, and it fits so well.
Like, we even get like the Predator 2 net in this one where he launches it at a guy.
And it closes on the back of the guy under the log. And just, that was also one of those moments where I was like, this is going to be an amazing gore scene, but they dull it down by doing it from behind. And it's just stuff falling.
To me, though, it was the thought of what was happening to that guy.
Imagination takes it so much further.
And then, like, when the reveal of it being underneath him, and that was like sucking him in, I was like, oh my God, he got the worst, I think.
The Danny Glover one was it stuck him to the wall,
and then it just kept closing in on him. It was
shrinking.
Yeah.
This one, to show that it's pulling itself through you, was a lot more brutal. I think what I probably feel like I wanted out of that was an overhead shot instead of the, like,
and then you get to see him be Resident Evil'd.
Yeah, he gets that whole thing where they cut what's his face into cubes.
Yeah.
And he fought, then all the stuff falls, fluid and blood and whatever. And
I would feel terrible to end this and not once talk about the bear trap getting thrown into a man's face.
He throws it like a throwing axe, flips it up. It looks like Wolf when he throws that throwing star into that chick down the hallway and sticks her to the wall. That's immediately what I was thinking, because he wings that thing at that dude's head. And I was like,
cannot go without mentioning that.
No. The kills are amazing in this. The action is amazing in this. I am going to go ahead and say this right now. This is probably on the low end of action movies, though. Even Hulu doesn't list this as an action movie.
Oh, no, but I think it takes it back to, like, Predator is a hybrid of horror and action. For what you are dealing with the content in this movie, I feel the same way. That is a horror action movie.
More
totally emphasis on, like, not a thriller, I'd even say, than horror, just because of the unknown of what this beast can do.
I think Hulu has it listed as thriller drama is actually what it's listed as on their thing. And they're not wrong at all. There is a lot of thrilling stuff that happens. It is a drama. You're following her journey through all of this. And it's not so much that it's not action because there's not machine guns or not all this. It's just how it was shot. It's just done really well. The fight scenes are amazing, but you also got the beauty of everything going on. It is an action movie, but not.
Well, it's not
action.
Everyone's got machine guns shooting into the jungle,
exactly.
Screaming.
There's no minigun.
Their friends started to, shoot in the jungle, and everyone went, no questions asked. We'll just
if there's no minigun in the movie, it's not an action movie. I don't care what you say. Yeah, and I do like the fact that it's kind of like Arrow on Arrow too, with his targeting helmet, which is how she ultimately does take him out. Is she sees that 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 the arrows are following wherever those lights are pointed, and so that is how she takes the mask away. She sets up the traps, which is we
And
were expecting that
she
kind of
utilizes
throwback,
that mud that she herself almost became victim to. I would have
right?
drowned.
Yeah,
My ass would have
Jack,
been done for.
the predator falls in, and Jackie goes, "That didn't stop him." She just immediately, she's like, "No." But I loved the flip. So there's a couple flips I noticed, and it could
Oh
just
yeah.
be me reading into things. The end of the first Predator is, you imagine it's so hot, a lot of, like, there's the fire that's going on, the body temperature is how we're seeing things. This one flips it. It feels cold. Like, I'm pretty sure that's snow falling in the middle of the night.
It very
She
well
is
could be.
she has lowered her body temperature. He has now covered himself in mud like Arnold. He is now the reverse flip. He's covered in mud at the end of the finale.
Yeah.
And now it's, instead of being hot jungle feel, it has now turned into the cold of night. She is part of her surroundings. I love that, just this kind of flip that it does to make itself its own while being true to the original movie. And that's why I consider this a perfectly executed sequel, prequel, whatever you want to call it. It just, I guess in my mind, I don't even want to say it doesn't surpass the originals, or it does, because it's just the next step of the evolution of the movie series.
It's the perfect step that the movie could have taken.
Yeah. To me, it's I have to watch number 1, then I have to watch number 2, and now I have to watch this is now my 3rd movie to watch if
Oh
I'm
no,
going to
see, this
watch
would be
all of them.
I would do it like Star Wars. I'd watch this one first. I'd start with the prequels.
No.
Yeah.
Because it takes the entire impact of Luke, I am your father, from New Hope.
No, because
you're
it's a whole
already
new character arc of the
No.
father.
No.
Yeah.
No, if you ever have kids, they start with New Hope, damn it.
Oh yeah, but I'm not gonna have kids. You don't want that in this world.
You're probably not wrong about that. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah,
But,
trust me, you don't want that to happen.
No, it's
But
fine.
like the final kill with the predator in this is amazing. Seeing the way she defeated it, and then her coming back to her tribe, covered in the blood, with its head to become the war chief. Ah, so awesome.
Which was also, I loved how their way of proving themselves was bringing back the head of what they killed. It was always separated, which is what the predators do, bringing back the head of what they've killed as a trophy. And they've never done that in these movies either. I love that she took a trophy. She has its head.
Yeah, she has it. Because why would you not want to keep it? Even if it is missing one of its mandibles, which I absolutely love, got broke off and stabbed into him.
Well, for freaking how long the damn things are, of course it was going to get locked off.
I imagine, of all the things that happened to that predator, even when he cut off his own arm by accident, that probably hurt the most.
Yeah, I think
that'd be the equivalent of me taking pliers to one of your teeth and pulling them out, I feel.
There was a part where she's doing all that flip on him and everything that I was like, kick him in the nuts. I want to see if he has nuts. And they didn't do it.
Predator's got nards.
I would have loved just a quick moment of, and that's all he would have done. I would have been happy at that moment. Hold on, let's see. Mark has an issue with
what is the issue with the mandible scene?
Well, remember he's got to type it, so we got to keep talking.
Well, we got to wait.
Types that. No, we got what? No, but like we were talking about, he takes a massive amount of damage, which is where oh, here he goes. Let's see. If they are rippable like that, then they are connected by tendons. Yeah.
Yeah. So you saying he would bleed out, I guess?
That's curious. Let's see what he continues to say on that,
Yes.
because I mean, I would think that, they are on tendons. They all are.
Yeah. I just imagine that sheer force. So the predator skulls and movies.
I see what he's talking about.
I didn't think about that.
Well, yeah, if they're attached to the skull in the other movies, they would be solid. They wouldn't. They would be like tusks. So
Yeah.
I think maybe they just left them on the skulls for aesthetic reasons. You know, like taxidermy, a couple of little wires
You
that
add
you
a
run
few
through
things, you know.
and that way you can form them around. You know, it can do different. It's like NECA. You can make all the new poses with your predator skull and have the stuff.
There
popping
is a
up
toy
there.
con going on in Columbus right after this. I might go to it to see if I can find a predator toy.
Come to my I have a predator right behind me that's been hiding in plain sight the
two
whole
predators
time.
to the left of me. I just don't have any like fancy ones.
I have 2 NECAs up above me. I have Dutch covered in mud over there. I have. This is right. We're doing video, so I can do this stuff. I have the invisible predator from.
Well, that's just a package. There's nothing in there.
Where is he? I have all of the open ones up above me. I have the $10 predators,
the Walmart ones.
Ads. I have that.
Nice.
One. I have the $20 one that's really tall.
Yeah,
and his little thing lights up. That's over on the. I have predators, man. I am wearing Predator today.
Nice.
You know, I'm repping.
Dom's asking a very important question over here. He says, "Do you think the Predator dork has mandibles?"
I'm watching 2 predators now. Really?
Well, he already knows there's at least one in the chat.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it, bud. Love you too, man. So what's Dom asking? I'm sorry. Mark distracted me. Chris Hansen is not standing outside my office. It's fine.
Oh, we don't know that yet.
He is behind Nate, though. I can see
the Hansen's coming from inside the house. Do you think a predator dork has mandibles?
It's not this kind of show, Dom.
It very well could, though.
Dom, why are you not in the live chat, man? I'm trying to figure this out right now.
Like
You're
a cuttlefish.
watching, but talking to Nate on text like a cuttlefish. What was that?
He's giving me gold.
It's all gold. It's all gold. Oh man. It
Yo,
does look like
that wraps up this movie.
That's the movie, man. I loved it.
I mean,
happy seriously, I loved it.
Not terrible.
Right. No, this was everything that I didn't know I wanted, I guess is the right way to say it. I was excited to watch it again this morning.
I was excited that we got a new Predator movie. I was real nervous after the Predator and how much
we all were.
Discussion there was from, the insiders and whatnot. It's like, well, it's done for. And then Disney buying Fox and what was going to happen with R-rated movies, and we already knew that Disney was going to be doing like a separate division, just like all of them do. Like, it's not going to say Disney across it. It's going to have like what it said, Spotlight Pictures or whatever.
Yeah. People forget Disney owns several other studios that have put out R-rated movies before this.
And then everyone
I've never been worried.
Oh, it's Disney. It's going to be bad. It's like, did you not remember that Endgame gave us one of the most phenomenal movie theater experiences of all time? Let the mouse do what the mouse wants.
I think it's literally they're gonna de-gore our movies. We got Deadpool as rated R, but I think they were really worried that I don't think it was Disney's reasoning behind why I feel like the gore was toned down. I think that was just a decision made by the filmmakers. Trachtenberg, I think is his name. He's been working on this movie for like 4 years.
Yeah, like he was working on this basically the same time as the Predator.
Yeah, so this was the reason it's taken so long is obviously because of the vid. That has affected everything as far as production wise. And this actually got teased before he wanted to do like this huge build up to this movie before anyone knew they were even making it. And Disney went ahead and like tweeted it out.
There was all the rumors going around of like, he might be making a new Predator movie.
Yeah.
Jay Wilson is the Predator.
I think that actually happened.
That was actually based on a true story. What he is describing is a documentary.
Ah, that's it. Didn't he like do like a false bomb threat or some shit? I can't remember what the hell happened with him. Yeah. I liked him as Weasel too, man. I don't know.
It was real disappointing.
Weird. I was very disappointed in that. So, all right, man. Well, that's Prey. We're huge fans. Everybody, hopefully, if you're watching this and we didn't spoil it for you and you've already seen it, but I'm saying go watch it again.
Yeah, that was the problem of doing this the next day on 10 a.m. on a Saturday. Everyone else is probably doing cool stuff, but nope, we want to talk about Prey as soon as possible and get it out there.
But the video will be up later, so those that wanted to wait,
put it on when you're cleaning the house or something.
That's right, man. I mean, and this is still shorter than our normal podcast episodes, so it'll be fine.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is I'm actually now I can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray or 4K. I want like a ton of extra features. I want a bunch of stuff. You know, give me both cuts.
Biggest complaint is I didn't get to see this in a theater.
I totally agree.
It's really a shame. It's a double-edged sword. I love when a movie that I'm very excited like this comes straight to streaming, like Suicide Squad. Because it's like, sweet, I can instantly watch it right away. I understand why Mark got confused by the title.
Actually, there was like 5 other movies called Prey when I was trying to find the movie poster.
Right?
I was like, really? There's that many? Sledge. Of course, Sledge is going to watch it.
Yeah.
That was my thing. My theater experience, I could have actually went and watched it with Sludge. That, you know, because we went and watched Godzilla versus Kong together and all this other stuff.
Oh, like I watched that
miss being able to do
the
that.
night it came out, but then that weekend I went to the theater to watch it because I was like, you had to.
They're called disciples. We got to end this before Mark gets too bored. It really just starts going. Oh my God. God bless you, Mark. Love you. So yeah, I am hoping for a Blu-ray release or 4K because I want both, like the Comanche and this. I want some behind the scene featurettes. You know, I love all the. I can't wait to see some of the special effects, you know, designs and stuff as they come out.
Oh yeah, like how they did it. The shooting locations. That's still like it blew my mind when you were getting some of those tracking shots and just seeing the landscape. I was like, this is gorgeous. How did you find this area?
It was fantastic looking. That's some good whatever they call that, the vision of the movies where they go and they scout out where they're going to film.
An incredible job to have. Now, are we going to rate this bad boy?
Oh, are we going to rate this as far as our Al Leong scale? Sure. We're going to rate this. We're just not ranking it until we do our Action Elite. Yeah. Which will be all of us from the Action Elite doing that. And we'll have links to all that as we lead up. So, Nate, I guess technically we're doing this as an action movie. So that means you've got to rank this first. So what is your Al Leong score for Prey?
9.5 out of 10.
Fantastic. Wow.
Yeah. And that's not even like coming down from the hype of it. Like, no, like I was watching it before the live stream again. And just enticed with it and wished I could have finished it before we started.
I know we both kind of ended at the same spot.
Yeah.
Like, crap, we got to get on here and do it.
Get on here and get everything set up. But man, this movie is incredible.
Mark's right.
Yep.
Because of how good this is going to be, that it's going to do the whole Hollywood stupid thing of let's go bigger instead of do the same thing.
You don't have to always go bigger. You don't.
Same budget. Same, you know, you don't have to get this now proved you didn't need a big name star to carry the movie, which is where they failed in other times.
And this movie proved once again, it's all about the characters. That's what the AVP films like messed up so badly. It's like, no, like I care about the human characters. I want to. So
right.
If you give me fantastic characters to root for against the Predator, it's a win-win all around.
So my Al Leong for this is not far off from you. I'm giving this a solid 9. It really is a 9.
Yeah, I have such minor complaints of just like the CGI in certain parts. There was a little rough. Like
there was a
like
couple.
The snake.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how they didn't just get an actual snake. That usually is what happens in these kind of things. But like I said, it's just so few and far between. I was just in such awe of what they were able to pull off, and the fact that it didn't feel watered down. It didn't feel like a direct-to-video release, which was also a risk that it could have taken from going straight to streaming.
That's what I was worried about, that this was going to feel
this could have
low budget.
Yeah.
We have a whole new rating scale, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, I can't wait to introduce that into the horror show. How many predator dog mandibles does this movie get?
I think we're going to lose some of our listenership. All right. So there it is, man. That's Prey. Everybody, thank you for checking us out on our very first live stream, the beginning of our YouTube channel. The videos are going to be special occasion stuff where we really just want to kind of talk about things with the live chat.
Yeah, we're hoping maybe once a month we can get this to be a thing.
That's kind of where I'm like, I mean, if it takes off and people really want it, we'll do more. But until there you go. That's better. Mark.
Red Rocket.
No.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, okay.
Predator dog mandibles. The other way, Nate. You replaced the wrong word.
Oh, okay.
You got it. This is live. All right. This is out there now.
It
I don't
is.
get
They're
to
always
edit
out there.
this like I normally do. This
You do
is
edit
now
out a lot of dong talk. Usually it's the first half hour and we're not even recording.
You love to bring it up every episode, and we're just not that kind of show here.
Wait till we get the RoboCop.
Whoo, we do have to talk about that one. All right, guys. So just keep following us on all things. We are on the Facebook. We are Give Me Back My Action Movies group, the Give Me Back My Horror group. We are on Instagram, Give Me Back My Action and Horror on there. TikTok, we both have our own channels. Twitter, we are both Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movies. Now you will see we are the GMBMAHM YouTube channel.
Letters.
Stop it.
They're in different orders. I don't know where they go.
You'll be fine. It all makes sense once you drink the Kool-Aid.
Drink the Flavor Aid.
And as you can see up in the top corner, we are part of the Give Me Back My Podcast Network. Please go check out all of our other shows. Sludge, who was in the show here earlier, I will pull up one of his comments. Monster movie Stomp Down, where they talk about fantastic monster movies.
They're doing a reveal of something right after this live stream. So go to their Facebook group.
Go to their Facebook group. And also, we will be on their show very soon, and it has a lot to do with what we're talking about today.
Oh, so that's happening.
Yep. So we got that going on.
Pete could not be with us because he is with Nacho Street Band, and they are doing more charity events today.
Yep.
So they are in Columbus somewhere. I'd have to look at the schedule. But if you go to Nacho Band or Nacho Street Band on Facebook, you can follow them. They are constantly doing gigs and raising money for Nationwide's Children's Hospital. Please give them a follow, and I am hoping I will finally be able to see them next weekend.
Pete is always out tooting his own horn, but in a good way. So
he's always got a horn to toot.
I did the dad joke. You'll be fine. All right, man. I say we get out of here. Do we do the thing? I say we do the thing. Do we do the thing?
Let's do the thing.
All right.
Get us out of here with a good word, Charlie.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.